Hello, this is Taylor for CSC 110. This is quiz number 5. Question number 1, I'm going to run that real quick. Okay, so for this first question, given a range starting from the first even number to the second even number, I want to find the product of all of the even numbers. So first I start by initializing the product accumulator. I'm starting with 1 because if I start with 0, everything will be 0. And then for the range, because I want to also include this last number, for this second even number, I added 1 to that number for the range, so it would include it. Right here, if the number is divisible by 2 with no remainders, it is an even number, so it will continue through the loop. Once it goes through there, it will update the product accumulator. And then it will print the first number, the second number, and then the product as shown over here. So between 2 and 6, those products of 2 times 4 times 6 is 48. This will also, because 12 and 12, there's nothing in between, it will just print out 12, 12, 12. Okay, next for question number 2, I'm going to call this function with these set of numbers here. Okay, so for the first one, I'm only dealing with negative numbers here. If I had added, say, another negative number, it might have come out positive at the end, because a negative times a negative is a positive, but then it goes to another negative, and so on and so forth. So this just does exactly what this one does here, which is just runs through it, but with the negative numbers. For this second one, because it goes from the negative value up into a positive value, that also includes a 0 in there. So as soon as it multiplies by 0, the end result, no matter how large this is, say if you wanted this to be negative 20 and this was 400, it's going to be 0. And then for the last one, this is very similar to what I did earlier with 12 and 12, 2 and 2. There's nothing in between, so it just prints out the 2's. And question number 3, I'm going to run real quick. Okay. So for this last question, I used the first function here as my helper function, and then I created a table using that. So first I started by creating the header here, so it prints it out nice and neat at the top. And then again, I initialize my product accumulator, and then going through the range starting from the first even number and then the very last one. And then again, if it is divisible by 2 with no remainder, it is an even number. So this will update the second even number for this one. So for example, we have between 2 and 4 is 8. And then we add 2 to this even number. So now we have 6. So between 2 and 6 is 48, and so on and so forth. Each time updating the product accumulator as well using that even 2 number. And then here's our helper function here, and then calling the function down here.